We are a four-piece hard rock and metal band based out of Tampa, Florida. Before anything, we're family, we're friends who happen to share the same passion for music.
So we met through this really good friend of ours. His name was Jorge Caballero. He is now in heaven. He introduced us to these other guys that were in another band. So we joined this band and we made music for about a year. It wasn't metal, it wasn't hard rock. It was something completely different. It wasn't the type of music that we love playing, but we really loved these guys and really loved playing music with these guys. So this band broke up after about a year. So then we decided to form another band, what is now Red Calling. Only this time we could play metal music and hard rock music, which is what we actually love.
The original lineup was me, Javier, Luis, and Destiny.
So we had different ideas. Destiny, the first drummer, had an idea, Javier had an idea, Jessica had an idea, and we put everything together, and that's how we knew we had something original.
After many years of playing drums, Destiny had to leave the band due to personal reasons. She's still a great friend to all of us. Our current drummer, Deven, is a very talented musician, and his style fits perfectly with the band, and very quickly he became like family to us.
So I met the crew from Red Calling back in 2019. They reached out to me via a website called Bandmix, and I actually hadn't been on that website in quite a while. They had reached out to me to play drums, and I was kind of surprised because I hadn't played drums in a band in almost 10 years, but I still had pictures of me from a long time ago playing drums up on my profile. So they saw that and reached out to me to audition as their drummer, and I took a listen to their stuff on Spotify, and I was like really impressed. You know, I really dug the heavy guitar riffs, and the bass lines were really good, and the vocals were really solid, and I really enjoyed the music. So I was like, yeah, I'd love to audition. So drove up to Tampa, and we met at a coffee shop, and that's where it all kind of connected. We connected like spiritually, emotionally. We just, it felt right before I even touched the drum set. It felt really good. So, but yeah, we just clicked kind of out of the gate in every way. And I love these guys. You know, they've become a family really quick, and it was kind of effortless to blend in with the band and find my spot. And I'm really grateful that, you know, it worked out because I love playing with these guys.
The name of the band has a really deep meaning to us. Red is a very passionate color. It's symbolic of love, passion, intensity, and music is our passion. Music is our calling as well. You can expect a roller coaster of emotions. Our show is really intense, and we try to be really dynamic.
So we wanted to make our show feel almost like a movie. When you watch a movie, there's different parts. There's an intro, there's a heavy part, there's an action part, there's a part that is a little more chilled. And that's how we want to model our show after. We start off with this heavy song, and then we go with another heavy song. Then we tone it down a little bit, then we bring it back up again. And we just want to keep playing with that dynamic. I don't like shows where every single song sounds the same.
Break the Silence is a 5-song EP, and it was the first time we recorded in a professional studio. The EP was recorded, mixed and produced by John Wesley from Porcupine Tree and Mark Prater at Red Room Studios in Tampa, Florida.
I remember the first thing I noticed was this huge wall of amps, and I was so excited. I was like a kid at a toy store, and I asked the guy, "Can we use these amps?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was the happiest guitar player in the planet at that moment.
So it was our first time using metronome, and it was an interesting experience. It took us several times to get it right, but we finally got it right.
So right after we released Let Me Fade, we decided to make a video for it. And not a lot of people know this, but we recorded that video with a $100 pocket camera.
Life's got its grip around me, its seas of gray just drown me.
It's funny to look at it because if you look at the video, I'm sure it's somewhere online, the video is all shaky, and now it's kind of cringy to look at it, but it was our first video and we put it out and we had a lot of fun doing it. And I actually edited that on a free software, so we spent $0 on that video.
I found myself, found again. I found myself, it's been a vain. Just let me fade, just take away these things inside me that you hate. Oh, just come and stay, come lead my way. I give myself to you today.
After playing so many live shows, the next natural step was to record a full-length album. We were lucky enough to work with producer Evan Kaufman. He worked with 21 Pilots and Rocket to the Moon, so we learned a lot from him. It was a great learning experience. We learned a lot about recording techniques. We played a lot with electronic toys. It was the first time we were introducing electronic elements in our music.
So recording with Evan was a lot of fun, but it was really tough at the same time. He was the most strict producer that I've ever met. I remember recording my guitar parts, and while I was playing the top string, he will actually tape the bottom strings. That's how picky he was.
Don't chop them too early, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So you go over but
After recording our first full-length album, we decided to use the track Never Go Back as our first single. And we decided to record a video for it. And it was actually, as opposed to our first video, this time we had a real location, a real camera guy, and a real video producer.
Recording Take Our Breath was a great experience. We had a lot of fun at the studio. It was recorded at Red Lion Studios in Orlando, Florida. It was mixed and produced by Gustavo Porras, and I love that song. It's one of my favorite songs.
Take Your Breath, it was definitely our next step towards our new sound.
The whole concept behind the video is that this dark entity was trying to pull us apart with ropes.
So for this video, we decided to tie ropes around our wrist, our legs, everywhere. And we were like, who's gonna pull? So we decided to hire these huge guys that were like 8 feet tall just to pull.
The song was recorded at Timeline Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. It was recorded, mixed and produced by Scott Scooby Bush. He's a guitar player for Cinder, and he used to play with the Nixons, who's a former drummer with Ray Lucier from Korn.
So recording at Timeline Studios was my favorite recording experience. It was very natural, it was very organic, there was no pressure. And Scooby, the producer, he's such a great person. We clicked right away. There was a lot of chemistry between him and the band. There was no awkwardness, there was no nervousness, there was no pressure. Things just happened very naturally.
I Had It All was a really interesting experience because I started playing with a 7-string guitar. This song is way heavier than anything we've done before. I Had It All is by far our favorite video. It involved a lot of dirt, shovels, fire, and a lot of screaming at the camera.
So we recorded this video in the woods, in the middle of nowhere. So we had our music blasting so loud, I was afraid the cops were gonna come and shut us down anytime. We were blasting at 2 in the morning.
Deven Films, and they did a phenomenal job on translating the image of the song and what we were trying to put forth visually. They translated that perfectly into a really awesome music video.
So we had the great idea of playing with fire for this video, and we tried everything we could, and we couldn't get the fire running for some reason. Then I remember I had a can of body spray, and we ended up spraying all the instruments with body spray, and that's what we did.
We are currently working on multiple things. We are working on a pre-production of our new video. We are working on our EP, our new EP, with 5 songs. And we also working and participating in a bunch of online festivals. We'd like to thank every single person that has supported our band. Thank you for buying our merch. Thank you for going to our shows. Thank you for hanging out with us. And thank you for being part of the Red Calling family.